Hello. I went to read a story. A short story about a zombie lady. Made zombie by the TV. Okay. Okay. As I read this story, I'm going to be reading it above me, looking up, so that might be awkward, but I have a choice. Okay, let's go. Let's read this story. She sat watching the soap operas at lunchtime, wondering how the women could afford such fine jewelry, designer clothes, that is bouffant. Obviously, they didn't work a job that required collared shirts with sewn name badges or plastic gloves, but whatever job they had definitely made some serious moolah. They all had the most flamboyant lives, good-looking sons, and well-polished silver. Can I be honest here? I can't stop laughing long enough to actually do this. Let's try again. Okay. In fact, the women could keep their high drama if they just gave her the rest of their daily lives. At night, when she watched the nightly news, her heart went into palpitations. She worried that a person 100 miles away, stalking the streets, would break her screen door down and jerk her out of her bed. 100 miles he would come just for her. By morning, she was watching the news again, this time to find out what the weather would be like just before getting dressed for the day. The people she worked with would discuss the latest CNN headlines over lunch, and their boss would erupt from his closed office to make big announcements as they came over the air of the 24-hour news network. Sometimes the group of workers would get angry, laugh, or break out stories of their past based on the latest news. Whatever was happening in the world meant something, even if it was just a little something. By weekend, old movies were on the air, and she would watch, daydreaming about the lives of the people on the screen. Ads. She picked up clothing styles, haircuts, and lines from movies to carry over into her own personality. If she watched a movie that had a particularly moving message, she felt that God himself had sent that particular moving message to her in that very moment to use as a prophetic venue in her life. It was meant to be. She took the meanings to heart. If Johnny left Sue because she was too ugly or smart, that meant she would be left if she were too ugly or smart, so she steered clear of those paths. When a movie featured skinny women who got their way while the fat ones were the butt of jokes, she knew she'd be skinny. Movies about wild lives, drug use, and partying were glamorous. And she thought everybody wanted to be glamorous because they did it on TV. She never saw people on TV read, but she sure saw them pleasing others, whether it was sexually, emotionally, or mentally. People would let others win just to get their day, eventually, or they would end up dead and become martyrs. Her favorite sitcom showed Skinny Dead and Skinny Dumb. Her favorite sitcoms showed skinny dumb women playing up to men to get whatever they wanted, only to make fun of the men behind their backs. Politics. Well, this was limited to the first 6 months before a presidential election and only every 4 years. Thank God. The History Channel is where she learned things, like how to shoot a Civil War era musket and who built the fucking pyramids. When she had the TV on, she just didn't watch it. She absorbed whatever was on. TV was her hobby, so she didn't knit, doodle, or do the crossword while she was sat plugged into that tube. The glow from the screen engulfed her own aura, soaking its rays into her pasty skin. If she wasn't watching the TV, it was still on, like a comforting friend, always there for support. Her mind wandered quite often, especially when the movie or the show played on the time bored her. But still she watched, making mental connections between herself and the people. She moved on from spending her waking hours in front of the small screen to sleeping in front. Not intentionally, but after plopping down in front of the screen after a meal from a fried chicken bucket and sloppy gravy, she became co-mate. Her legs propped up, her feet covered with a fleece blanket she picked up for $1 at a Black Friday sale. Recliner dipped back and her eyelids tried to hold her front side down. This went on for a few months until she gave up and started making the recliner more comfortable. Her new bed needed extra padding to hold her rump up so her back would stop hurting. She made more cushioning and soon slept like a baby, forgetting all about her queen-size sleigh bed down the hall. One morning she woke up to find red juice stains on the front of her button-up rayon blouse. She didn't remember drinking juice before she went to bed, but her brain didn't tell her a lot these days. Most of the time she had a hard time remembering to piss before she woke up, and even pissed a couple times in the recliner. Had she not noticed the puddle, she would not have known about it at all, since her smell had given up its ghost when she was 9. Right after her dad ran over her with his 1944 Chevy pickup, and then backed right back over her fat lump before realizing it was her. He knocked her sniffer right out of her skull. She changed blouses, picked out her permanent, before tacking on her name badge and heading to the factory. The end.